State any rebuttal?
Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason Maxwell Anderson went to work the next day and didn't cut his hair or do any of that stuff is because he thought he got away with it. Because he did it alone. He did it in the middle of the night. So leaving town, doing that stuff, that brings attention to yourself. That's also why he sends that text message to her the next morning. Hey, morning, how's work going? He's trying to cover up. He thought he was going to get away with it. That's the whole point. Because everything he did the night of this incident was done in the middle of the night in a secluded place that he knew was secluded, that he took her to and cut her up. He thought he got away with it. Let's talk about blood. You saw the images of her on that couch. She's out of it. She is gone. There's no blood in there. You heard from the medical examiner how people can die without blood. Strangulation, suffocation. It's no coincidence that she is face down in his cushions in those. That she is so out of it that he's able to lift her shirt up and grab her breast and yank her pants off without her putting up a struggle. We know as well that the dismemberment, remember the medical examiner talking about the vital reactions, that there were no vital reactions at the areas of amputation. That means no bleeding because she was dead when it happened. And he's doing it down at the lakefront on the shores of a lake on a rainy night. And he talks about no mud, no blood on the shoes or anything like that. He's got this massive backpack with him that he gets rid of, that has never been found. Why? If that backpack is something that's important enough for you to go out in the middle of the night with, why is it gone? Because he got rid of it. He got rid of it to cover up the crime. The hoodie, why is it in someone else's dumpster? Why is the hoodie not a hoodie you were wearing while on the date, but a hoodie you're driving around in the middle of the night with? Why is it in a dumpster 2 houses down? Why is her DNA on it? It's because he's the one driving her car around, taking her body to Warnemont Park. No intent to kill? What about all the horrible, disgusting, gruesome things that he did to her body? That shows intent to kill. He brought up this hair on the proximal bone, and his argument was Max was excluded from that hair. Do you remember whose hair that was? It was Sade's hair. He failed to mention that part just now. Just like he failed to bring up the latex gloves he brought up in his opening and said, certainly these gloves played a role in this crime. That was a quote. What a joke. Those gloves had nothing to do with this crime. Nothing. The blood on those gloves was neither Max nor Sade's. It's located a quarter mile south of where this occurred. A week later, a smoke screen. Nothing to do with this crime. Maxwell Anderson was not walking away from the Honda Civic because he's in the wrong place at the wrong time. Why on earth is he walking around behind an abandoned building where the woman who he was on a date with the night before his car is getting set into flames and he's just casually walking away? And you did hear from the woman who saw him do it. You heard her on the video. You saw her point to him and say, he did it. Call the fire department. What's that all about? It's because he's the one who lit the car on fire to cover up all of this and calmly walk away because he's trying to get away. He's trying not to draw attention to himself. Asking you to completely speculate that something happened to her in the alley. Well, let me ask you this. How does she get in the alley if she's passed out of it, incapacitated on his couch? How would she have even gotten there? He's asking you to speculate. She's just instructed you, you can't speculate. You are not to speculate. That's what he wants you to do. That's what he wants you to do, to find Maxwell Anderson not guilty, but you can't. You follow the evidence. Not a single piece of evidence points to anybody else. Everything, at every single turn, even when police tried to focus on other things, like the latex glove, did it lead anywhere else except back to him? The broken pieces of car at the gate just happened to match the Honda that he's walking away from as it lights on fire. The beach where she is cut up, it's his beach. It's his place. Every single lead, every single thing the investigators did led back to Maxwell Anderson, and it is because Maxwell Anderson is the killer. He is responsible, so find him guilty.